हेलो फ्रेंड्स, हाउ आर यू? कमर सवाल अज़मी, आदाब, सलाम, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल। कैसे हैं आप लोग? Friends, as you know, in Canada, housing is an issue, and with the recent surge in housing prices, it has become almost very difficult for many families to buy their own house. For example, in most cities, a small two-bedroom house costs around $500,000 to purchase, which is a big price tag. So the question comes that should we really need to buy a house, or what are the benefits of owning a house? For that reason, in this video, I present you a comparison between renting and owning a house. Of course, owning a house has some pros and cons. At the same time, renting a house can also have some pros and cons. So let's see this cost benefit analysis and see if renting could be a good option.
One of the biggest benefit of owning a house is potential for equity building. A homeowner, when they buy a house over time, the value of the house increases, and that's how they have some assets. In Canada, recently a survey was done by Statistics Canada in 2019. The survey name is Survey of Financial Security. It tells that the net worth of those people who own house uh, in 2019 was $685,000 compared to those people who were renting, and those people who were renting were far below compared to the homeowners. Their net worth was only $24,000. So this is a bigger, one of the biggest benefit of owning a house, because over time price of house increases and people build wealth from their home. Second benefit is about in some countries like in Canada, whatever the equity gains homeowners make on their principal residence, like the house where they live, all those gains are tax free. In other countries like US, their equity gains are taxable, but then in US, homeowners, they can claim expenses of their mortgage interest and property tax toward their expenses as an expense to their income. Third benefit is about the forced savings. Yeah, of course, if you when you buy a house, what you do is every month you have to pay a little portion of that principal towards your principal. So how it works in Canada, if you go and buy a house, you normally put down 5, 10, 15, or 20%, and the rest 95 or 80% or 75% comes from the bank in the form of a mortgage. So the mortgage comes at an interest rate, maybe for example 2%, but you have to pay off that mortgage over the next 25 years. So when you pay off, that's contribution towards your principal. So your principal share gradually increases and your mortgage share gradually decreases. So whatever you contribute, whatever you pay towards your house is your forced savings. And another great benefit is the stability, that in a rental house, landlords can ask you anytime to leave the house, maybe any reason, maybe they want to sell their house, or their children or their relatives or their siblings might be moving into that house. So being a renter person is always on the move from one house to the other house to the other house. So these are the great benefits to be for being a homeowner. But at the same time, there are some benefits to renters as well. For example, rents are cheaper compared to the mortgage payments, because rent covers everything except bills. So bills means hydro, heat, electricity, internet, those things. So rent are cheap. And also at the same time, renters don't have to put any money down because being a homeowner, uh, you have to put down 5, 10, 15, 20%. But being a renter, you just have to give first and last month rent, and that's all you needed to get a house and live in that house. Second thing is, house renting is maintenance free. Any problem that occurs in the house is not your responsibility. This is the responsibility of the landlord. And if there is any repair cost, or if there is any fire, or if there is any other problem, renters are not responsible for that. It's the headache of the homeowner. And as I said, there's no down payment, and it's easier to move. So some people don't like to have a house and live there forever. Some people like to move to different houses, or if their job nature is something like this, where they have to move from city to city to city to city, then they would not be willing to invest a lot of money to buy a house, or they will just rent a house. So it's easier. If you want to move out after 1 year, you can move out, or if you don't want to move out, you can stay in the same house, and nobody will ask you to leave as long as you're paying the rent on time. At the same time, there are some costs to homeowners. What are the costs? There are a number of hidden costs for homeowners, and those hidden costs are property tax, fire insurance, maintenance, buying appliances. Those are all those hidden costs. And when you buy a house, you have to pay land transfer fee, you have to pay lawyers fee, you have to pay mortgage interest costs. So there are so many costs associated with owning a home. So those hidden costs are if additional expense for homeowners. And second thing is that the homeowner has to come up with the down payment. In Canada or in the US or many countries, normally when someone wants to buy a house, they have to put down at least 5, 10, 15%, depending on their income level. So the rest comes from the bank. But down payment of 500,000 house and 20% is about $100,000. So they have to come up with $100,000. It's possible that $100,000 you can invest somewhere else and make more money. Like for example, if you can spend that 100,000 invested into a stocks market and you are lucky, you can double your money in 1 year, but in the house you might not be. So it all depends. But you have to come up with down payment for the house. Excuse me. Also, home prices fluctuate a lot. It depends on where you are buying the house, but in cities, homes are also not immune to crash the prices. So we have seen in the past housing bubble, and when the housing bubble that burst, prices of the homes can go down substantially. But at that time, homeowners have to take that risk. They has to be ready to take the risk of downsides in the house prices. At the same time, there are costs to renters. For example, rents, they always increase. Although in Canada we have rent control policy, and most of the time rents increase between plus minus 2%, but still increase. And second cost to renter is there's no wealth creation because you are not developing any equity as a renter, so there is no wealth creation. And at the same time, there is, if you like stability, so sorry, for renters, there is no stability. uh, the landlord can come anytime and make any excuse and ask you to leave the house. In addition to that, there are many rules. Like when you rent a house, you have to obey and you have to accept many rules. For example, you have a landlord can ask you not to smoke in the house. If you want to smoke in the house, temperature in Canada are harsh. It is extreme winter, and if you cannot smoke in the house, you have to get out of the house. So that's a rule you have to follow. And other rules are also there, like you might not be able to allowed to have a pet in your house, and that's another rule. But I mean, if you are a homeowner, you can have as many pets as you want. So overall, there are some benefits to homeowners, some benefits to renters. There are some costs to homeowners and some costs to renters. At the end, it depends all on you what you want to be. You want to be a homeowner or you want to be a renter. So that's what it is for the time being. Okay, I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, give me a thumb up, subscribe my channel, and leave your comments. If you have any questions, just to leave in the comment box. For the time being, that's it from Canada. So see you next time. Bye bye.